I don't know.
Looks like you have.
After we're done, let's check.
Okay.
All right. So this is an AP exam thing, and the you must. Biggest thing is you have to state that the function is continuous and it's a closed interval, okay? Those two things have to be true in order to use that theorem. And the theorem is that, I know, they always add all these letters. What does that mean? K is any number between f of A and f of B. That's what I was just saying on the board. If you know the y value at the beginning of the interval and the y value at the end, K is any number in between those, you know that f of x is going to hit every single value. There's going to be a place where you can find f of x equaling K. Okay.
Okay.
Translation. This is me saying dumbing it down, but you're not dummies.
It's fine.
Right.
Because, that's just a phrase. Because it's continuous, the curve must hit all function values between the endpoints. Does that make sense?
I like that better.
Yes, it is. So, explain why the function has a 0 on the interval. Now, could it have more than one 0? Yes,
Yes.
but at least has to have one on the interval 2 to 4. Well, I guess we should figure out what f of 2 and f of 4 is. So,
Plug them in.
I'm going to plug them in. When I write it up, I am going to make sure that I state those two things, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. All right, friends, let's find f of 2. Two squared is 4. 4 minus 8 is -4. -4 plus 3 is -1. And then f of 4, it better be positive, else I'm not going to be able to do it. F of 4 is 16 minus 16 plus 3, which is 3. Okay. So, f of x is continuous. How do I prove something's continuous?
I don't know.
You don't have to prove something that's a polynomial is continuous. We know all polynomials are continuous. Okay?
Yeah, we do.
So you can assume f of x is continuous on the interval 2 to 4 because we know that the function x squared minus 4x plus 3 is always continuous. So I'd have to give you a function that was continuous, otherwise you can't use it. So maybe if I said, could you use intermediate value theorem? Then you would want to decide if it's continuous. All right, so f of x is continuous on the interval 2, 4. This is the thing I need to state to use it. And f of 2 equals -1. And f of 4 equals 3. Therefore, I like to use the 3 dots. F of x has a 0 on the interval. Because this is negative, that's positive. You could even say f of x crosses the x-axis on the interval. That would be fine too.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now the question, second part of the question. Find the 0. Oh.
Oh.
Where does x squared minus 4x plus 3 equal 0? I'm going to assume that this is a nice one. And I'm going to use factoring rather than quadratic formula. I like factoring. But could you use quadratic formula? Sure. You might want to. Maybe you don't like factoring. My hope is you get used to factoring. That looks like that works, right? Actually, there are 2 zeros, but only one on the interval, because the interval was 2 to 4, right?
Yeah.
So, the one on the interval was x equals 3. Okay.
Aha. Wait.
Hmm?
Turn back.
now, let's look at what things I